Hi Flosstubers, welcome to my Monday here in Canada. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's about 29 degrees, which is warm, like it's supposed to be warm in the 80s most of the week. And then this weekend, which is a long weekend, Victoria Day in Canada, it's supposed to go down to like 40 degrees and be rainy. So that's usually the way it goes up here. But right now it's beautiful. I've been busy working in my yard, digging out my dandelions. We've pulled some lilac bushes out and are preparing to put in a fence. In the next few weeks, I'm planning to get a dog. And so there's been a lot going on here. I thought today I'd talk to you a little bit about how I got into stitching and the different things that I do. When I was about 11, I got a stamped cross-stitch kit in a church class that I worked on, and I've looked all over my house. I thought I saved it, but alas, I think I got rid of it, but it was pretty sad, but that was my first introduction into stitchery. When I was in 5th grade, a friend of mine named Carol taught me how to crochet, and we made those little like swirly, they look like worms. They were, just a swirly thing, and we used them as bookmarks. And so that was my start to crocheting, and I still to this day crochet, and I enjoy that. I'm not working on any kind of crocheting project right now, but maybe in another episode I will show you the things that I do crochet and tell you a little more about that. The next thing I worked on as a child was my mom and I did an embroidered piece, which was of the United States. It's no longer available. I'm just going to show you this. And so we did this back in the 1970s. It's all the states with their state flowers, and Texas is really, really big and out of proportion. But my mom and I worked on that, and then my dad made the frame. And so this is near and dear to my heart and something that I keep, and it's normally on the wall right behind me, but I'm not going to hang it back up while I'm talking to you today. And I think the first counted cross-stitch piece I ever did was when I was in my early 20s, and it was this picture, Life is Fragile, Handle with Prayer. So, and this was professionally framed, but it doesn't have glass or anything on it, so it's been ready to be, it needs to be dusted occasionally. So that was the first counted cross stitch one that I did. And then, oops. The next one that I did was this one. And this one says on here that I did it in 1984. And when I was in my early 20s, I worked for a company called Creative Expressions, and it was like a home-based party company, and people would book a party, and I would come in and I would teach either a needlepoint class or a cross-stitch class. I think those were the two. And so everybody made like a little apple picture that they could turn into a little pin cushion. And so a lot of things that I've made through the years were things that I bought through Creative Expressions, because then I could make them up and then use them as my samples when I was trying to sell things. So since then I've been cross-stitching and doing things, like I said, a lot of times I have decade projects, and I just found out that my There's No Place Like Home cross-stitch is ready for me to pick up at the Framers, but I haven't been able to get in there yet to pick that up. Last week I mentioned that it was Home is Where the Heart Is, but that's not what it is. It's There's No Place Like Home. So hopefully till I do my next video, I can show you what that finish looks like. I do have a few completely finished projects, or FFOs, finally finished objects. And one of them is these little 3 little cross stitch stockings. Oh my goodness, are they tiny. So I finished them with some Christmas fabric on the back, and I lined them on the inside. But I just made a simple little ribbon. I might just put a bow on there or not. Maybe I'll glue a little button or something. But I made these long so that I can hang them on the branches of my Christmas tree. And again, so that's completely finished. So I have this, it was a Columbia Minerva project. And this is what they're supposed to look like. You could braid a hanging loop, but I just wanted to get them done. So I do have the pattern, and I just wanted to share one of the things that I do. Like I do quilting, but I needed a template to make the backs. And one thing that I like to use is old X-ray plastic. I don't know. I don't know if I got it from a doctor's office or somewhere. One time somebody was throwing lots of them away. And so I just use old X-ray. Okay. So I got that done. Instead of having my basket, like I said, I was going to put pillows in my basket, I'm going to use my, I have a wire mesh basket. And I do have a couple things that I finished to put in there. First of all, I didn't make this, but isn't she just, she's cute, isn't she? She's this little doll. So she's going in my basket. This is the Leaves and Letters by Lottie Da. This was a free pattern that I got off of Pinterest. And so I just finished that into a little pillow. Some of the fabric that I talked about last week that I got at a thrift store, I'm using to put on the backs of my little pillows. This is another little one that I finished called Love Lives Here. And this one, because it was so small, I sewed some shirt striping around it to make it a little bit bigger. I like to do lots of things with old men's shirts. Not old men's shirts, but old shirts that are men's. Anyway, and so this has the striping on the back too. And then this is one of the alphabet samplers I finished. I just did that this spring. This is 11 count, so it's pretty big. But I have a cat named Piff. He's black and white. And this made me think of him, so I did that and finished that up. And this was the first one that I finished, and the striping I sewed on backwards. So it's inside out. So this looks more like gray striping rather than the black. So anyway, those are the only 3 things I have in there. But they are finishes. So I count that as a win-win, win-win-win. I know I will get to my works in progress or my finishes. For May Madness, not May Madness, well, whatever it is, I wanted to finish my Autumn Salt box. So I do have all the stitching done now. I just need to cut this one out and finish it. And again, this fabric is a 14 count vanilla. I don't know. This is so bad. I thought I had it written down, but I don't see it anywhere. Anyway. Another thing that I've got finished but need to totally finish, is this Be a Kind Soul. And this is one of the free downloads from Not Forgotten Farm. And I was on there again yesterday, and there are so many free patterns on there that I want to make at some point. So they aren't printed off, but this was one of them, and Be a Kind Soul. Another project, so now I'm showing you things that I finished so that I will have to finish them. Because remember last week I talked about how I'm like ADHD and I kind of finish things, but then I don't finish things. So back in 2013, I made a bunch of these. Silent Night. And I made these for my daughters-in-law. And right now I've got 4 of them made, but I just need to frame them. They go in a 5x7 frame. So I've been buying 5x7 frames at the local thrift shop, and then at some point later this year I will get those finished. Okay, other works in progress. Oh, yeah, I guess if I'd have looked at the right thing. This is 14 count white chocolate Ada. That's what this is. Helps to look at my project bag. All right, another thing that I've been working on is my temperature tree by Stitchin' Mommy. Rainy Day Reads is the one, she has a Flosstube. She's the one that I got this idea from, and so I've been working on this. Like, there's each month there's a branch, and then you cross stitch the daily high of each day on there. And she gives you different, like I'm using the extreme cold temperatures, or extreme temperatures. There's mild and there's hot, and so depending on where you live, like if you live in the Southwest where it's hot a lot, your graph would be different than the one that I use up here in Canada. So where did I put it? Found it. I had taken it back to iron it. So this is what it looks like so far. January was pretty warm, a lot of green leaves on there, and then in February we hit a cold snap. And then I have March on there, and I've been starting to work on April. She calls for 1 or 2 flosses, DMC flosses to use for the bark, but as you can see, if you can see that, I've used a variety of browns because, you know, bark is all different colors, shades of brown. So I've been using like 801, DMC 3371, 838, and Weeks Dye Works Tatanka. And so I will mix and match those and just sew in different places so that the tree branches look like they're a little more shaded. So that's just something I'm doing with that. And again, that's the temperature tree from Stitchin' Mommy. My other whip is the Liberty by Little House Needleworks. Just got that the other week. And this is how much I have done. And this is on 18 count putty khaki Davos. I'm not sure that I really like this. I'm only stitching it on over one strand, and it, you know, but it looks pretty, so I will keep on keeping on with that, my Liberty one. And I keep my Liberty in my project bag that I made with some colonial kind of fabric on it and a kind of red interior. So that is that work in progress. The other one is my Autumn Town. I don't even have that one to show you today. I haven't worked on that one at all this week because I was busy with Liberty and with trying to get going on my temperature tree. But there's a new one. I didn't even bring that one out either. I think I'm going to start working on my cow, the one that has the cow in. But I don't have that one right now. So the milk company, but I'm ready to start another one, or maybe one of the little houses, the little house freebies, so I can keep working on a house to put in my basket. My other works in process, is my alright quilts. So as far as my thimble quilts, I got 2 more rows of the blocks, the thimbles sewn together. So now I have 8 rows, but I'm still going to do a few more rows because I need it to be longer. So that's coming along nicely. My other whip is, as far as quilting, is my Scrabble quilt. And I mentioned that the other week, that there are 61 names in my Scrabble quilt. Only 2 names have been duplicated, Emily and Taylor. And I finally, this is the chart I'm following. And as I would get each row done, I would highlight it in yellow. So now I have all the rows done. Yesterday I numbered my rows, and then I sat down and put a little piece of tape and a number on the first piece of each of those rows. So now I can go back and iron all the seams one way on one row and all the seams the opposite way on the next row, so that when I sew the rows together, they will nestle into each other. And so I'm excited about getting that put together, but I don't have any of them sewn together yet. Just they're ready to go. Let's see. All right, so I did go thrift shopping again this week, and the one main thrift haul that I wanted to tell you about, actually I got a piece of Ada cloth that is a bread, it's for a bread basket, but it was plain. Hold on, I'm just gonna go grab that quick. Okay. Sorry that I keep having to stop and restart. Just my brain is not with me today. So this is a piece of Ada cloth, which is a bread cloth, but it's nice and square. And I got this for 75 cents. There was another one there. I should have bought that one too, because I wouldn't stitch it up to use it as bread cloth because I wouldn't want to get grease stains and things like that on my cross stitch, but I can use it for other projects. So bread cover. I might have to go back and see if I can find the other one. And I also got just a piece of burlap at the thrift shop. That was 25 cents for that. And I found a frame with glass that I can use for my ABC swirly sampler, which I showed a while back. But I got this frame, so it's, and I got it for $3 with glass. So that'll really cut down on having to put out a lot of money for framing. Okay. That, I think, is all the thrifting haul I got. The rest is, I do have some regular haul, but I remembered I picked it up while I was back there. But the other one that I want to start is my milk and cream company with a cow. All right, and this one I am using the called for flosses, and I am doing this on 16 count French lace Aida. So I haven't done too many things with 16 counts, so I'm going to give that a shot. So that's the one that I plan to start. And as I was going through the different cross-stitch patterns and crochet patterns and needlepoint and plastic canvas patterns that I've had for a long time, I found this cross-stitch, which I mailed away to get the directions for from McCall's magazine back in 1983, when postage was just 20 cents in the US. Anyway, this is McCall's 12 Days of Christmas. And I had to send away for the pattern back then. And I found this with the ladies dancing and lords a leaping and drummers and maids a milking and all the things that are in the 12 Days of Christmas. So I am going to stitch this, I think, as a Christmas project. Thought that would be fun to do. I haven't kitted that at all yet. I just know that I want to do that because I found that cross-stitch pattern in my box of projects. I know I'm bouncing all over the place here, but this is also another project that I'd been working on that I put aside. It's just called Quilt Blocks Bookmarks. So it's got beautiful cross-stitch colors in there. And there are 4 bookmarks, but I've only been working on 2 of them. So, like the pattern is, look at this pattern. The pattern is really, really big and it's hand drawn. So that's been a while. 1989. So, anyway. That one I'll probably work on too. That's a nice small one that I can take in the car or wherever I want to just have something. And then it has iron-on facing for on the back, like felt that you iron on to finish the bookmark in the back. All right, new haul. I just got this today. I'm excited. It takes me, when I order things like for 1, 2, 3 stitch, anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to get them. And so it just seems like the longest time. But it seems like every week or so, I find something else that I want to buy and I'm putting in another order. And so I always have something that's going to be coming to me and it's $5 to ship it to Canada. Oh well, but what gets me is how much longer it takes to get here. But what I got today is by Bent Creek. It's called The Thankful Owls. Isn't this cute? It says thankful, grateful, blessed. So I'm going to make that up for Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving here in Canada is like the 2nd week of October. So Thanksgiving is when Columbus Day is in the States. And it throws me every year. Like, it makes sense because October is when everything is finally harvested and things like that. But I get to celebrate 2 Thanksgivings that way. Thanksgiving's always been my most favorite holiday. And there's even this little tiny button right there that gets sewn on behind the word blessed. So I'm going to work on that. I did get some more colored floss. The other pattern that I got is by the Drawn Thread. Simple Samplers, Simply Summer. You say that fast a few times. So it says summer and it has the alphabet on there, and I think that's just really cute. So I bought that, and I got the called for linen for that, which is 32 count dirty linen, Belfast. So this one uses one thread over two threads of linen. So I've not done any cross stitch with just one thread. So this is something new for me. So I look forward to starting that. All right. Well, that's all the new haul I got. And the freebie, because every week I need to mention a freebie, I found on Pinterest. This is by Twin Peak Primitives, and it's called Welcome. So it's got a nice berry vine and a little house, and the cute sheep and the tree, and they give you you can print off a colored chart like that. And then the last page gives you the colors that you can use. And it calls for DMC colors, which is good because I've got a few containers full of DMC colors. And it is called Welcome. It's designed by Nurdan Kanber of NNK Holland. Anyway, I thought that was cute. So that's the freebie this week. Look that up. Nurdan Kanber. Kanber. All right, so that's my freebie. When I was trying to find my cross-stitch pictures that I showed you earlier, I came across a quilting project. Now, I already have probably 10 of those 10-inch square, 12-inch square colored containers full of projects that I need to work on. And I have more than that. But I want to show you the fabric I found. I kept it in one of these bedding containers. All right, so this comes out of McCall's Quilting magazine from 2003, April 2003, but it's called A Nation's Pride wall hanging. And it says stars and stripes at the top and forever at the bottom, and then it has little prairie points coming off the bottom. And so I was just looking at all this fabric. I think this is something I'm going to have to start. So I got all these whites that I've had for a long time that I can use for there's pinwheel stars in there, and then there's the red and white stripes. So I got some more whites. Got an off-white heart. I got this crackled look. Not quite sure if I want to use that at the top or as stripes. Got a lot of reds. So this red, a deeper red, another red with stars. So I just got a collection of reds there that maybe I can choose from what I want to do for some of my stripes. And I just found this piece. This is beautiful. A deeper red. And then I have this batik. Isn't that cool? It's got stars on it. So I might cut that and use that for the prairie points at the bottom. And then I got some Americana bundle. I don't know when I bought this, but this was from Joann Fabrics. That's got red, white, and blue. And another piece of blue like this that I can use in the for the star part of the flags. One flag. And a bunch of squares. I have blue blocks like this with stars. Lots of blues. I've got this beautiful blue with stars that I could use in the flag. And I've got this. I think I might use this for the stars of the American flag that's hanging. But I saw all these fabrics and I thought, oh, I think I need to start cutting something out. So, and again, it is called A Nation's Pride, skill level 2. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that because that's probably something that I'll start working on. Maybe I can have it done by the 4th of July. Anyway, all right. Well, those are the projects that I had this week to show you my finishes, and I look forward to talking to you again. I think I'm going to go for 2 weeks